Here's not even close to everything Israel did in Gaza in the third week since the ICJ ruled that they must prevent the genocide in there. Saturday was a dark day as the Palestinian Red Crescent finally found the body of Hind Rajab, the 6-year-old that called for help 12 days ago. Hind and her cousin Layan Hamada called PRCS for help as they were stuck in a car with 4 dead relatives. During the phone call with PRCS, Layan was shot to death by the Israeli army, and Hind picked up the phone and continued pleading for help for over 3 hours. A dispatch team went to rescue Hind, and they even shared their coordinates with the Israeli army to organize a safe passage for them. In fact, the Israeli army approved that mission. They were never heard from again since they left. On Saturday morning, a different rescue team found Hind killed with 5 of her relatives still in the same car. Yusuf and Ahmad, the PRCS team that went to rescue Hind, they were found bombed in their ambulance mere meters away from Hind. Nothing was found except scattered flesh and bones. On Sunday, Israel claimed to have found a terrorist data center under UNRWA's headquarters, justifying their attacks on Gaza's last humanitarian lifeline. UNRWA refuted all of Israel's claims, especially the alleged coordination with Hamas. I'll do a deep dive into Israel's claims and evidence in a later video. On the same day, at least 3 patients died in Al-Amal hospital for lack of oxygen, as Israel prevented oxygen tanks from being delivered for over a week. The Israeli army destroyed a food warehouse, while Israeli snipers killed a mother and her child on TV while people were trying to rescue the child to get him out of the sniper's sight. They unfortunately failed to rescue the boy. On Monday, while America was busy watching the Super Bowl and whatever Taylor Swift was swifting, Israel launched a barrage of airstrikes into Rafah, where over 1.4 million people are sheltering, killing over 100 people and injuring dozens more. The airstrikes targeted refugee tents, and one of the explosions was so enormous it flung the body of a little girl, Sidra Hassouna, across the street. She was found limbless, lifeless, and hanging on the rubble by her shirt. The pretext of Israel's attack is to rescue 2 hostages, which makes the total of rescued hostages through Israel's military offensive on Gaza since October 7th up to 3. At this rate, Israel only needs 33 months and to kill 1 million Palestinians to rescue the remaining 134 hostages. By the way, according to Hamas, during the same attack, Israel has actually killed 3 hostages, which reminds me of the time when they shot 3 hostages who were shirtless, crying for help in Hebrew, and waving white flags and SOS signs in Hebrew. On Tuesday, Israel targeted and bombed 2 journalists in Gaza, and the UN Special Rapporteur for Palestinians, Francesca Albanese, was banned from entering Israel or the occupied Palestinian territories. For context, her UN-mandated job is to investigate the conditions on the ground in Palestine and Israel. But honestly, none of this should be shocking, as Israel has prevented all UN Special Rapporteurs from entering Israel or Palestine since 2008. On the same day, Israel sent a Palestinian hostage to Al-Nasser hospital to demand that people should evacuate the hospital, otherwise they will be bombed. Minutes later, as people were trying to evacuate, Israeli snipers executed that hostage. On Wednesday, the Israeli army used force to evacuate people out of Al-Nasser hospital. They even used military tanks to break into the hospital. Israeli protesters continued blocking aid for the 5th week in a row, but in order to fix that, Israel has actually made refugee camps full of aid for Gazans. Actually, that was a lie. Israel had to correct themselves and apologize for lying on Twitter, as they used stock photos for Ukrainian refugee camps, claiming that they built it for Gazans. In fact, while they were making obvious lies on Twitter, they actually blocked all flower trucks from going into Gaza. Exactly as Israel has planned, videos and satellite imagery have revealed that Egypt is currently building a buffer zone in Sinai to house the 1.4 million Palestinian refugees that are about to be ethnically cleansed from Rafah. Also, an Israeli creator have made an escape the room game mimicking the genocide in Gaza, where Israelis can live the genocide in safety and where they can never lose. On Friday, Israel continued continued their siege on Al-Nasser hospital, cutting off power and fuel and killing 5 patients as a result. They abducted over 70 medical staff from the hospital, claiming they were Hamas operatives without any evidence. Even though Hebrew media have reported that no hostages were found at the hospital and there was no evidence that they were ever there. Of course, you won't see that in Western media. Throughout the week, Israel has killed over 828 Palestinians in Gaza, among them at least 510 children. This is the last week before Israel must report back to the ICJ with their actions in Gaza. Do you think they'll finally prevent or stop the ongoing genocide? I honestly don't have high hopes. Free Palestine, ceasefire now.